You're the one who pushed the stupid button.
What was I supposed to do? You're the one who...
When I first heard of yet another Big Bang Theory spin-off, I immediately dismissed it as some AI fake news, until of course the credible sources on the internet confirmed otherwise. Now I've seen Young Sheldon, and I'm even caught up in all the episodes of Georgie and Mandy's first marriage just for the shits and giggles. But nothing could have prepared me for what the world building in Stuart Fails to Save the Universe would look like. In a way, I like to think we're in Sheldon Cooper's very own personal hell, as the level of uncertainty the plot has built in just 2 episodes is unsurmountable. In the last episode, we saw how the world we were previously acquainted with is long gone. The sunshine and unicorn sitcom format no longer exists, as we have now jumped into a completely different setting that could somehow be compared to Mad Max. To rewind it a little, in the first episode, we notice how Stuart, Bert, Denise, and the people around him are simply apathetic towards all the blood, gore, and murder after their world was pushed to the brink of extinction. Apparently, their current predicament can be traced back to a malfunctioning quantum entanglement device, and the people who are to be blamed for the current state of the world were none other than Howard Wolowitz, Leonard Hofstadter, and Sheldon Cooper, who apparently created this device that ended up malfunctioning and by extension screwed up every universe within the multiverse, thus fracturing reality and opening many dimensional rifts in the process. The episode ends with Barry Kripke killing Raj just as he was about to fix the device and save the world, and before you know it, the machine zaps everyone except for Denise into a seemingly happy world. What happens next? Well, without wasting another moment, let's find out.
Oh shit, they found us! Shoot the drones!
So, episode 2 begins with Stuart, Bert, and Barry simply staring outside at a universe that is haunted by giant moths, mutants, or bandits. This is far from the initial post-apocalyptic Mad Max-themed world we were previously introduced to, but it also comes with its own set of issues. As you know, in the previous episode, Denise was too far from the quantum interference device, so the only people who got pushed to another universe when the wormhole opened up were Bert, Stuart, and Barry. Now, in this new world, everyone is weirdly nice to each other. In fact, a bit too nice, if you were to ask me. When the same 2 nerds who also met in the first episode actually play nice and agreed to share a comic instead of screaming at each other, that is when it hits. Every insult comic at the Comic Center has now been replaced with something inherently cringe or mushy. Lex Luthor and Superman are now best friends in the comics, and the shelves are basically brimming with Archie and Richie Rich issues. It all comes to a T when Stuart holds Barry responsible for killing Raj and stopping them from saving their universe. Not just that, he wants to go back to Denise because he's no longer staying away from the love of his life, and just like that, they quickly spiral into an argument. Bert is the only one to notice the strange green devices attached to the back of their neck, and before he could say much, the device zaps them and they fall to ground, shivering uncontrollably. We soon find out that every person in this universe has that device attached to them, and it prevents them from exhibiting any kind of bad behavior at all. That is why everyone is constantly smiling and happy, as they've been conditioned to never fight, argue, or disagree unless they want to be continuously tased from the inside. Of course, each of them learns it the hard way, especially Barry, who keeps losing it and continuously gets tased in the process. Now, this really is a happy-go-fastest world which is controlled by devices. Anyway, the group splits up as Stuart decides to visit the Denise of this universe, while Bert and Barry walk down to Caltech, hoping to meet Sheldon and Leonard. After Denise lets Stuart into her apartment, he finds out that she is now married to Gary in this world. But this marriage is far from happy, to a point that Denise is now an alcoholic, trying to make things work. They cannot separate because that would make Gary upset, and well, the device in the back of their necks really makes it hurt if they get upset. Meanwhile, Barry and Bert reach Caltech, where they meet Ramona Nowitzki, who is now a receptionist at the university. She makes it impossible for Bert and Barry to meet Sheldon or Leonard and sends them into continuous rage spirals that ends up getting them tased repeatedly. Yeah, it is not a good sight, especially with Bert getting his pressure up after hearing how the geology department is not even given a proper space in this universe. Well, after a bit of too many outbursts, the cops come to pick up Bert, Barry, and Stuart in order to take them to a reduction facility that basically aims to convert them to happy morons that fit into this idyllic alternate world. This is very much an AI-run correctional facility, as the orientation video was being delegated by Leonard's mom, Beverly Hofstadter, who explains everything. As it turns out, when a quantum interference device malfunctioned, the multiverse, the entire world was out of order to a point that even the government could not control the fanatics, and so they turned to the scientists, who ended up creating an AI overlord that would bring forth world peace. The only issue is this peace came with a cost of giving up your autonomy, as the AI overlord took over the world and repressed every negative expression in everyone, including children, by implanting microchips into their brain stems. Because the trio has triggered the device with their rage quite a few times, this 30-month-long program would condition them into staying happy. Even if Stuart desperately mentions an escape plan, the episode fast-forwards to 30 months later when all three of them are released back into the world, after spending literal years being corrected and tased into obeying the AI overlord of this world. In fact, even when a mysterious black van rolls in, throws a bag over their heads, and kidnaps them, the three of them do not freak out. Instead, they are strangely calm, which makes you understand just how effective their time at a correctional facility was. They are then brought to an abandoned Amazon storage facility, and shockingly enough, after the bags are taken off their heads, they see Zach. Funnily enough, Zach is part of the resistance against the AI overlord, and he brought in the trio in order to rescue them. But our jaws really drop when Penny shows up. In this reality, aspiring actress turned pharmaceutical sales rep from The Big Bang Theory is a rather commanding brunette who is leading the resistance movement against the AI overlords, that too alongside her dumb ex-boyfriend. Penny takes one look at them and then immediately starts smacking all three rather relentlessly in order to deprogram them by riling them up and getting them angry. While Barry absolutely digs her dominance, Bert and Stuart fold pretty easily by pretending to be angry just so she would stop beating them up in the name of deprogramming. I absolutely love this bit, especially because it is such a surprise for longtime fans. I think the fact that this spin-off show has the ability to reinvent veteran characters like Penny and Raj across different timelines is one of the coolest arcs, as it lets you visit the Big Bang Theory universe without tracing back to the same old dynamics. Anyway, the same surprise comes when Denise walks into the facility with a quantum interference device in hand. Apparently, she is also a part of the resistance, and after her conversation with Stuart almost 2.5 years ago, she was led to believe that their device could help take down the AI overlord of this world once and for all. Even though it took a long time for Penny to get Stuart, Barry, and Bert out, she now hopes to deprogram them and then get them to help save their world. But as Stuart explains, the resistance had it all wrong because the quantum interference device does not really work like that. Now, Penny of this reality has a very little patience for bullshit. She is nothing like the character we first met in Apartment 4B. She has never worked at the Cheesecake Factory or met Leonard for that matter. Instead, she is the leader of a revolutionary guerrilla group and is surely not aversive to violence, which is why Penny orders her dim-witted Lieutenant Zach to kill Bert, Barry, and Stuart for being absolutely useless. Luckily, Barry says that he might have a plan to take down the AI menace plaguing this reality, and so he starts fiddling with the device. Penny already knows that this dude is up to no good. As Barry turns on the device and tries to zap himself out of this situation, AI drones break into the facility and start attacking everyone left, right, and center. One by one, drones take down every member of the resistance. Even though Penny does not meet the same fate that Raj did in the previous episode, Zach surely gets tased rather aggressively. Luckily, Barry gets the quantum mechanic device running, and then, before you know it, Stuart drags Denise along with him to save her from the AI overlord, keeping her in the loveless marriage with Gary. And just like that, we see AI regime Denise, Stuart, Bert, and Barry get zapped into a new reality. Now, this new reality is crazier than the two, as we see the same two nerds once again arguing over a comic book at the comic center. Only this time, we are as shocked as Denise and Stuart when one of them pulls out a wand to mutter some Hogwarts-level incantation that makes a snake come out of the other guy's mouth and slowly slowly wraps itself around his neck, suffocating him. As Stuart explains, this might be a world where magic is real and so everyone could be a witch or a wizard. How cool is that? Well, surely not cool if you're the guy with an asshole engraved on his forehead. But more importantly, where is Bert and Barry? As it turns out, these guys have gotten themselves into quite a kerfuffle, as Bert is tied to a mast on top of a wooden pyre while being surrounded by an angry mob. Everyone in the mob is holding a flame stick and is screaming for the scientist to be burnt. Barry only quietly sees it all unfold and almost tries to reason with the mob before slowly slipping away to save his own life. The episode ends as the angry mob sets fire to Bert's pyre as the geologist screams for help. Honestly, there's a very high chance that Bert will burn to death. I say this with such confidence because Stuart just collected a Denise for himself from another reality and brought her back with him. So what is to say that Prime Bert won't get burnt to death, only for them to include another version of him back from another timeline? Not just that, it is the fact that Stuart is not even trying to save the universe. I cannot help but wonder where the AI regime versions of Stuart, Bert, and Barry were. I mean, we do see another Denise because Prime Earth Denise is still stuck in that apocalyptic world. Does that mean that Barry, Stuart, and Bert are getting zapped into other realities? They are somehow rigging the timelines by either vaporizing versions of themselves that exist in that particular reality, or maybe causing them to zap into other universes of the multiverse. More importantly, what is up with Prime Earth Denise? If 2.5 years have passed, is she even making an effort to look for the gang after they left with a quantum interference device? Well, I guess only time will tell. There are so many loopholes and mysteries within the plot at this point, I am not even sure what they're aiming for. I have a feeling Stuart simply wants to settle in a relatively normal reality and live out his days with Denise, which I think is far from possible. But I have a feeling we might see Howard or Leonard in the upcoming episodes. Maybe they will figure out how Stuart will save the universe, even if the title says exactly the opposite. But that's just my 2 cents. What do you guys think will happen next? Let us know about your thoughts and theories in the comment box down below. As always, don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe to our channel. A subscription is the best way to be updated on all things related to Stuart Fails to Save the Universe. Until next time, this is the V of Marvelous Videos. I'll be seeing you on the next one.